everybody. Welcome to Across the Bifrost, the Mighty Thor podcast, where each and every week we explore the world of Marvel's Mighty Thor. Today, we are doing part 2 of our Jason Aaron Thor Run Retrospective, where we are looking at the second component of the Gorr, the God Butcher story, God Bomb. And for that story, I am joined again by Brandon and Curtis. Guys, reintroduce yourselves to the audience and tell them what you've been up to.
Hey, all right, I'll go first. Curtis and I are just like trying to be polite. Hi.
No, you.
Brandon,
No, please.
from Apollo City Comics, and we were here last week. We've been here before, and Ryan's been on our show. So, hello, thank you for having me back for God Bomb. I'm hyped.
You're always welcome, Brandon.
And my name's Curtis Spears. I'm from the Smart Foundation Wrestling Podcast and the Throw and Dice Gaming Podcast. And man, I love me some Jason Aaron Thor comics, and I'm excited to get to this one because it felt like only, of course, half a story last time, even though it was a full arc. But I'm ready for this.
So, like Curtis just referenced, this really is a continuation of last episode. So if you have not listened to part 1 of our Jason Aaron retrospective, please go back and listen to that one. And that we touch the entire first 5 issues of the Gorr story. Today, we pick up on issue 6 of Thor, God of Thunder, where we get Gorr the God Butcher's origin story, or as they said in the comics, his Gorrigin story. Lord. This issue, I know the guys are primed to talk about this issue because this issue makes everything else make so much sense. Yep. This 6th issue of Jason Aaron's Thor doesn't feature Thor at all. There's only one Asgardian that's featured in this, and it's not Thor. So we are going to jump into this issue, and then issues 7 through 11 are really the bulk of the God Bomb story, and we'll dig into that and what that has to show us about Thor and Gorr's relationship, and then how that conflict concludes. So, guys, issue 6 of Thor: God of Thunder is, like I said, the origin story of Gorr, this new villain, and we learn so much about him. What were your impressions of this issue? Man, there's so much in here, so I feel like wherever you guys feel like we need to start, let's start. Where you're
start with this cover. Dude, issue 6's cover is like, I've been staring at it since you opened it up. It's one of my favorite covers of this. I don't know, this run might have some of the mightiest Thor covers ever. Like,
I couldn't agree more.
That is epic. I mean, that's my intro. Just stare at that for 5 minutes.
We'll put this up on social media when this episode comes out. But it's Gorr trying to lift Thor's hammer, and I mean, it's another Assad Ribic cover. Actually, yes, it's an Assad Ribic cover, but the interior art is done by a different artist. The cover, though, is just so good.
Just the threat behind that Gorr. We already know how intense he is, and then holding Mjolnir, like, it looks like he's ready to pick it up and strike, like full confidence. Like, he isn't going to trip over that,
No, not at all. They need to do this in the movie, by the way. This needs to happen.
Absolutely. Oh, I could just imagine that. This issue itself is probably one of my favorite single issue stories in all of comics. I would put this up there like with the Coyote Gospel of the original Grant Morrison Animal Man run. Ooh, that's my favorite single issue of any comic ever. I would put this pretty close to that.
I respect you so much more the more we talk. Like,
flex.
Right. Dude, we talked about this issue so much like last episode. It's going to be hard not to repeat ourselves, but we'll try not to. But I agree. Like, this is one of the issues that I read a fuck ton of comics. You know what I mean? Like, I read like 6 to 8 issues a day minimum, typically. I have a lot of stuff to get through, but
like a part-time job.
That'd be sick. But this is like one of those issues that for an issue to really stand out to me and like be encapsulated in my memory forever, like certain panels and the events that happen, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
And I've read this issue. I mean, I've read it now 3 times, but I remember since I first read it, it just stuck with me. Gorr's origin is just so damn good. And it goes back to the whole questioning God and religion aspect. And that's just really in your face. Like, let me make it as clear as possible why this dude feels this way. Like, and this is just one of those issues where we're like, we have a character. Now let's just like tear his life apart.
Ooh.
And then,
Yes.
Once we get to some of the interiors, I don't know how far you want to go, but there's like a great Sandman inspired image that I'll point out. And I that made me love it too.
I've got a favorite panel that I'll point out too when we get to it.
Okay. Well, and so the guys have alluded to a lot of these pieces. Let me give you the eagle eye view of what issue 6 contributes to the larger God Butcher, God Bomb, and really Jason Aaron's Thor, because a lot of the, like we talked about last episode, a lot of the themes from God Butcher are themes of not only this story but Jason Aaron's writing. Nothing is above being questioned, nothing is above reproach, and Gorr definitely gets to the heart of that, where we jump into the issue. And initially, I don't know if you guys thought this, but the interior art is so different from Assad Ribic that I was like, oh, am I reading the right thing? But I get it. Like, Assad was probably working on the next half of the story while this little one shot happened. So,
and it makes you like realize this takes place in a different time too. I think that's another big way to recognize it. Because if it would have been Assad doing it, you would have kind of felt like, okay, we're continuing the story. But having the artist switch, you're just like, oh, this is different. We're somewhere else. And I don't think I would have noticed that until you pointed it out right now.
Yeah. The first like 6 pages are us seeing how Gorr's life has fallen apart from the beginning.
It wasn't really somewhere to fall apart from, really. I mean, like they started at the beginning of the thing. He's like, oh, we're running out of sludge to eat off the floor. So
he grows up on this planet, and they say it's a planet without name. So basically the planet doesn't matter. It's like a Tatooine style desert planet, and Gorr's mother is torn apart by wild animals, by sand tigers, which is, Jason does a great job of just like throwing in like space sharks and sand tigers. And
this reminds me of like some like John Carpenter of Mars, like classic pulp.
Yes. Some I beleave that's Edgar Rice Burroughs. That's the dumbest flex I could have possibly thrown in there. But his mom is torn apart by these animals. And then his wife, who is pregnant at the time, they're in their like home, their cave, and the cave just falls apart off the side of a cliff. So his mom has died, his wife has died, and then later on in life, his son dies. And so Gorr has had nothing to thank the gods for up until this point. And he finds his own breaking point where he, according to the other tribesmen, he commits blasphemy against the gods, and they're ready to stone him, to kill him, because they're afraid that he's going to bring damnation on all of them for his non-belief. And Gorr doesn't care at this point. He's got nothing to live for because the gods have never blessed him. Mm-hmm. And in the midst of this fight, they leave him for dead. And then he goes throughout the planet kind of cursing the gods, and then he meets a few gods.
Before we go,
he's local man too angry to die.
Local man too angry to die.
It's kind of crazy because, like, as extreme as this all is, when you look at history, when you look at modern history, this isn't really that extreme of a thing. Like, this is literally like people have lived lives equivalent to this and have been part of religion. There's some parts of the country where religion is like, it's different everywhere. Here it's very relaxed and chilled, but there's parts even in America where religion is like, hey, if you do this, like, that's it, that's it. You're fucked. Like we're gonna like nobody wants you around, you know. And
Come to Nebraska, guys.
Wait, don't you live in Texas? Oh my god.
Oh, I live on I live on Western Texas, the very tip of nothing. I'm far away
Okay.
from all the Republicans.
was
But
like-
this is one of the most liberal cities, probably. Fortunate for that. But I'm moving up to Virginia soon, so
What?
yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that
We'll talk
later.
about that later. But yeah, it's just one of those things that it just seems so extreme, and you're reading it and you're like, my God, like how could they do? But this happens all the time.
Yeah.
I have a friend that, she came out as, as being gay, and her family just straight up shunned her and stuff like that. Like this being exiled because it doesn't, whatever you're thinking or doing, because it doesn't align with your religion, this still happens, and it's sad, and it's crazy that even in a comic book, the thing about stories, we never learn our lessons. That's why these stories continue to be repeated all the time, because we never learn. And this is just another perfect example, and it's kind of cool. It makes you relate to a lot of stuff, even in an alien world.
Yeah. An alien world that feels like it's right next door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
I think my panel I'm talking about is coming up once we switch over from this faboom. There we go.
So what Brandon is referring to, and then I'll let Brandon wax poetic about this. Curtis, was this your favorite panel as well?
No, mine's coming up directly after this.
More to come.
Nice. Okay.
So when Gorr is walking through the desert, he just wants to die. He just wants to feel the sweet release of death. And these two gods who are in this conflict fall to the planet, and he sees them fighting. And I'm sure Brandon will hit on this, but we get a very significant first appearance in this panel. But Brandon, what stuck out to you about this panel specifically?
Dude, it's crazy because, like, of course, the plans that were not laid out, that this is Null. This is the start of Null. That was never said. These are two unknown gods.
Unknown, yes.
And this is, I feel like, Null's body, the black suit, dude, it looks very much like, I don't know if you guys have read Sandman or how far have you gone into it, but when you look at like what his helmet is made out of, his helm, it kind of has that same kind of vibe and feel. So I feel like this could even connect more. Like I got inspiration from Sandman from this outfit, basically, is what I'm saying. And then you look at the other guy's outfit, and they haven't defined him as anyone yet. I don't know if you guys have heard, because this is another god. It's been named, it's a god. This is the god of light versus the god of blackness. I don't know if they've done anything with these characters since then, other than Null.
Yeah, I don't know about the god of light. But obviously Null, for those of you that might be unfamiliar, Null is the god of the symbiotes. He is the reason that Venom is what he is. He's the originator of Carnage and all of the symbiote characters of the Marvel universe. And if you want to learn more about Null, either read Donny Cates's Venom volume, or you could read Donny Cates's The King in Black. And this is the first appearance of that character, which, like Brandon said, has been kind of retro continuity, like that this was his first appearance. Obviously, we don't know this is Null at this point because he wasn't named yet. I got Sauron vibes from Lord of the Rings because I haven't read Sandman, but for those of you that have watched Lord of the Rings, guy also looks a lot like Sauron.
But I was thinking too, I don't know if you guys know about this character too much, but Michael Moorcock's Elric of Melbourne.
Okay.
Dude, that when you look at images of Elric and then you look at Null, you could tell that was like direct. I don't know. I feel like it was a direct, influence.
I kind of feel like the other god, the god of light, the golden god here looks a little bit like something out of a Jack Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
You see, he's got like those long sweeping lines and things like that. So it could tie back to like a Eternals thing or something like that.
I totally agree with that. And it's funny because his helmet too, in what's his name? Nimrod in X-Men?
Yeah, Nimrod.
Yeah, that's that design kind of reminds me of that right there too. So dude, it'd be crazy to see where they go if they carry on this character's story.
I was also getting like a one-faced living tribunal vibe, just because he's made of gold and he's very shiny.
That's very true.
But you know what's great about comics is when you talk about it with friends, you come away with such like, oh, did you pick up on this? No, I didn't. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad you picked up on it and shared it with me.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they're completely stuck in like the killing blows. So like the golden god is stabbing Null right in the face and the throat, and the Null is stabbing the golden god through the heart. It's kind of like that Superman and Doomsday like landing their final blows on each other right before they both die. It's a very cool panel.
That's one of my favorite comic book panels ever. You're totally right. Yeah.
You said your favorite panel is on the next page, Curtis?
Yes it is actually. So yeah, the golden god looks up at Gorr and he says, help me. And you see Gorr and he's thinking, he's help you. And then the next is just help you. And it's very like the rage that they put into this one panel of Gorr. He's just so over it. He's like, you need me to help you after I've been begging for my entire life for a drop of water. You need me to help you not die. And the rage, the anger, the absolute just vitriol that comes through in this panel is beautiful. It's a single panel that is the character right there.
You know what? I love how you summarize that, because it shows his complete and utter contempt for even the idea of helping a god do anything. And yes, fantastic observation there. We're introduced to one other thing in this issue, and it's how Gorr became powerful. It's how he was bonded with the All Black, or what we would come to know someday as the Necrosword, which is Null's main power source. The introduction of the All Black here, guys, it gives him his power, and also on one of the last panels, he flies off in this like winged Batman suit. I just like these last few panels of him, killing the Light God and the Necrosword. Do you guys have any takeaways from that as we kind of get through the sixth origin issue?
That still just looks like Jack Kirby stuff to me. I don't know, man. Like it's very silly, but I dig it. I'm kind of glad that they went with a more biomechanical or natural look than something like this. If this guy showed up on the cover of a Thor, I wouldn't take him as seriously as I do Gorr the God Butcher.
There you go. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We're not, like we said from the beginning, we weren't in this for like a sci-fi story. We were in this for like a mythological, like, Norse god story. And this is an interesting thing, because I guess it's kind of carrying away whatever the other god, Null had. It's definitely like reduced the technicality behind the outfit, and it seems to be a bit more savage towards what Gorr would be later on, So it's weird how it's like the symbiote, you could already see how it's adapting and changing and pulling from its predecessor into what it's taken over.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, we'll put this up on our social media. If that guy showed up, and Curtis was so right, like they went with a great design, and definitely glad they stayed away from the more mechanical Iron Man suit version of what the character could have been. The end of the origin issue, Gorr is having a conversation with, of all people, of all Asgardians, Volstagg, and this is a young Volstagg, so he's not voluminous yet.
It threw me off at first. I had to Google it. I was like, "Is this? Am I wrong? Do I not know who this is?"
and Gorr ends up crucifying him.
Yeah, like metal. Oh my god!
Like the last panel of issue 6 is Volstagg being crucified, and it's intense. Like it is uncomfortably detailed, we'll put it that way.
It's gnarly.
And you can see in the background of this panel, he's crucified other people. I mean, we've been talking about how this story is metal. It's intense.
It's funny because they're all crucified in different ways too. Like the way they're hanging, it's not the same kind of cross. It's not the same positions. Like they're all being tortured differently.
And is that a member of his own race down by Volstagg's ankle? there
It
on
would-
the left hand side.
Possibly, yeah.
It looks like it.
I
I
mean,
can't tell. I mean, it looks like it's got the same sort of like tentacles hanging off of his head or something. I don't know. I'd have to get a full page and actually like look a little bit closer. But
I think the main takeaway for that one is Gorr does not care.
yeah.
Gorr definitely does not care.
Oh, this is also where we get to see that Gorr has brought back his son.
Yes.
And he has
Yes.
a like Dune Emperor outfit now. His
Yeah.
that like hood and a cloak type of thing he had going
Yeah.
on is now like fully robed, and he kind of has like I don't know, the shoulder pad things going on like Ace Frehley, and it's just
Now so issue 6 concludes, and then the next 5 issues, and I know that it's a lot to say, like, and over the next 5 issues all of this happens. The main point we get to is Gorr is going to detonate this bomb, which will rid the universe, the multiverse, ever since the Elder Gods, because he has the heart of the Elder God inside the bomb. It's going to rid the universe of gods, and all 3 Thors, they converge on Gorr's planet and they start to fight back. We're introduced to the granddaughters of Thor. They are awesome. One of them thinks about making out with their grandfather. That's hilarious. She's like, I'm really glad I did not close the deal on that. But we come to this point where young Thor has been working. He's almost been part of building the God Bomb. King Thor and present day Thor, they arrive and they're ready to go to war. They have some great interactions where present Thor, the way he gets ready for battle is he just drinks copious amounts of ale and mead. That feels like it might be right up Curtis's alley. It's like, yes.
I don't drink at
you
all.
Don't?
No.
I was so disappointed there. I don't know why.
Oh, that's all right.
beer,
That's
man.
right.
It's the Viking look you got going on.
That's why I was like, you give off the Viking.
Popeye look more like Popeye the Sailor Man than anything. No, yeah. The way that they prepare for battle, when they finally you get to see all 3 of the Thors ready to go, and the way that the battle starts is absolutely fantastic. Where Thor's just like, okay, everybody, let's plan, and they start planning, and he just goes Leroy Jenkins.
Yes, he goes full Leroy Jenkins. That's it's such a perfect description of it.
He's like, all right, you guys go do your thing. I'm gonna run over here. Bye.
Oh, I don't. For me, guys, one of the moments that I could not get out of my mind as I was reading this is this page from number 10 is when Thor grabs both hammers.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And he's ready to wreck shop.
Yeah.
Like they've been fighting in space, and all of the Thors have found their own different way to try and get at Gorr. They're not really working as a team. They're kind of still doing their own thing. And then Thor grabs both hammers, and things go next level, because there's this panel where Gorr's kind of the all black and the wiry and the withering like blackness, it explodes all over this moon, and then Thor just decimates the entire thing. I mean, like, Assad Ribic, take my money, man. Like, we get it, you're good. That, I mean, as we come to this concluding book, I wanted to know, what were your thoughts of the finale? Because this is where our whole God Butcher, God Bomb story conclude. And the last issue is just an action-packed, just it's nonstop. It's nonstop.
Some of the splash pages in this final issue that you see, like page 7, I believe it is, with Thor's got both the hammers and like the All Blacks fighting back against him, and you see like it's the power is just like coursing through him and tearing him apart at the same time, and like that is gnarly. There's one couple pages after that that's also quite a cool visual where it's like it's Thor with the all black and two hammers, and it's still that sort of sketch black art style that we were talking about in the last episode.
Yeah.
And that is gnarly. It's absolutely crazy because you've got like, you don't see his hands, you just see a black hand wrapped around the handle of Mjolnir, and there's crackling energy everywhere, and you see like the helmet, the winged helmet, the Thor helmet, and just black eyes underneath.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite images. That's an album cover right there. If there was any of this issue, like, that's, it's crazy, like, because it's rare for, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of rare for any comic book to have both the protagonist and antagonist have like an epic finale towards the end. Someone's gonna take a back seat. But then you look at Gorr and his whole troubled thing that's going on with him right now. Like, this dude, like you were saying, you brought all these gods together. He's ready to kill them all, and he hasn't realized that he's become a god himself with all this power that he's wielding. And it's being pointed out to him by his son, by his wife. He kills his wife because of what she was envisioning, and she just wanted him to stop, and she just wanted him to like complete this so that she could have him back, and everything can kind of be, live their lives again. And
that's what they say in issue 6 specifically, that she is a very religious person and she's willing to just follow whatever religion they have. So when she sees what he's doing, she's like, oh, this is my new religion. And he's at first he's like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And after a while, it's just like, well, you are, and you have to deal with that, and you have to kill your own family now because he
won't face what he truly is inside, and he's scared of himself, and he's so scared of what he's become that he won't face his own reality. And again, we're talking about character arcs and like, life lessons, how it reflects and whatnot. That's a great thing, is like, when you ignore who you are, look how like much that darkness and that evil kind of grows inside of you. And to the point where we find out, his son sees the mother get killed, and he is now kind of angry and realizing his father is a god. He's always kind of known that, and he goes over to Thor, helps Thor out, and then we realize that his family wasn't even real. It was just part of him. He just created them because he was so lonely, and that's what he wanted back. And again, the fact that you can bring your family back from death, real or not, that's godlike powers. And oh, dude, his whole story is just tragic and so filled with anger and hate, and it never stops. It never stops. There's no redemption for this character, none. And
the line that, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, but that was it. Yeah.
The line that his son, the manifestation of his son, says back to him. This is essentially Gorr talking to himself, which I think is insanely meta and kind of crazy. But the manifestation of his son says, "Was it a god who killed my mother, or was it you? Or are the two one and the same now, Father? Behold, Gorr, god of hypocrisy."
Yes.
So I feel like, not to trivialize the action of this arc, but Thor finds a way to stop the bomb from detonating. He finds a way to save all of gods through all of time, and that part of the conflict concludes. But really, this is a story about Gorr. This is a story about the tragedy of Gorr and what happened to him and what he became, and really how he ended. So I just want to kind of throw it open here at the end of Gorr's story. What is it that we learn from Gorr? Like, what is it about him as a character that makes him truly compelling?
Unbridled hate will make you it'll turn you into something that you don't want to be. That's all it really comes down to, in my opinion, is that if you give into your hate, you'll become something that you don't want to be. You'll become something that is irredeemable. You'll become, like, for him, that unbridled hate turned him into what he hated most. And that's the easiest way to put it, is if you live your life with nothing but hate, you'll just become something that can't be saved. You'll become something that can't be redeemed. You'll become something that can't be excused. You'll become something that has no place. And that's in his view or anyone else's view, because they can't let him live at this point.
No.
I mean, you look at his plan. The God bomb, we haven't really gone into it. The God bomb itself is a bomb that will explode at all points in time, killing every god that's ever existed. Now that's not just to say that it's going to kill this god here and that god here. It will kill every god that exists at every point in time. Like, you can't even, so you'll die every second of your entire life, and when you're a god, that's a long time. So like, this is genocide on a scale unimaginable. Right.
Yeah, it's so intense.
And so that genocide that he's trying to bring on has, it is a godlike power, like you said. So the fact that he is so angry and he's so irredeemable that he was a good man, and he had a family, and now he's something that can't even be allowed to live. There's no redeeming Gorr. They couldn't take Gorr to the, strip him of the all black and say, okay, now, like the end of Infinity War, where Thanos wants to just sit on his porch and raise crops. No, that's not going to happen. If you give into that hate, you are just irredeemable.
Yeah.
There's so much there, Curtis. Jeez.
I hope that it came through. I was kind of rambling there at the end, but no, the point is, like, yeah, that amount of hate is, I mean, it's something we've only seen very few like it in our history. As humans, we haven't seen people that have that amount of hate very often, and when they do, they're always irredeemable. No one's interested in redeeming people like, Hitler or something like that. So like,
exactly.
The thing that it's turned Gorr into is he's a shell of himself. Once he doesn't have the all black, he's wandering around. He's a skeleton, basically. He's there to be murdered at this point. All the time, all the power has been stripped from him. He realized what he's become. He's lost even the vaguest idea of a family that he had, the one that he made for himself, which you said, like, that is part of him. So like, that part of himself, he always knew at some point this is what he was. He could have at any point with the all black just made a new family, moved off to a new world, and that would have been it. But no, he went down the wrong path, and he always knew that he was going down the wrong path, and that's why his family was there, telling him, by the way, what you're doing is wrong. And he just kept ignoring it and kept on his way, to the point where he was too far down, too far gone. It's so tragic.
Yeah, it's a magnitude of just like great emotional feats that, man, if you look at, I mean, we all know people like it, but it's crazy seeing that in a comic, and how, we really don't get those irredeemable characters very often. Like, Joker, like there's a handful that are just kind of like that in comic books, that you're just like, oh, you're never going to have like a good, but they even try to redeem Joker, like in Whitest Night and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like there's like hints of that, but this is just one of those hate-fueled characters. And for me, it was like arc one, the first volume was very much focused on that anger and what that does to you, that drive and that corruption at that point. And then God Bomb for me was just like denying who you are and not accepting yourself and facing the truth of who you are. And where that like leads you to, because it's built up from that first arc, and now you're in complete denial, and it's going to destroy you. It's literally going to destroy you. And if you don't face it, it's those, dark haunted feelings that you know what's inside, but you've chosen to like take that, you've pushed it so far out of you that it's now another being. Like it's not even, it is part of you, but it's now just like exterior at this point. Like it's not really, you're trying to get rid of it and ignore it as much as possible. But I don't know, it's going to be interesting seeing how they translate this into film too. I don't know how they're gonna capture all of Gorr's essence and his capabilities while introducing Jane Foster and that
Yeah.
transition and all of that.
Another thing about that is are they going to be able to do this character justice with the silliness of a Taika Waititi movie? Like Taika
Yeah.
Waititi movies
Yeah.
this is such a dark story and such an angry, like, vitriolic story. Like, the lightness of a Taika Waititi movie, like, is it going to be able to capture that proper? Like, I have no doubt in my mind that Christian Bale can reach that level. I love Taika Waititi. Like, Jojo Rabbit was a fantastic movie. What We Do in the Shadows is great, but like, does he have the depth to handle that? I'm really interested to find out.
Yeah, I it's one of those, it's the first thought thing where it's just like I think about his past filmography and his all that, and you're just like, how can he pull it off? But then you think about people like Jordan Peele, who was a huge comedian and then brought out like the most insane horror movies we've seen in a while. And I think that Taika also respects the comics a lot. I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't really enjoy Thor Ragnarok because it was stuffed with the Marvel comedy bits that they just Marvel forces into their movies now. But it was the most Jack Kirby film we've ever seen. It was the only film where Kirby has gotten any respect in terms of design and whatnot. And that's what I loved about Thor Ragnarok. So I feel that if he's going down this path and he's choosing these characters, he knows he needs to pay the proper respects. And he's a big comic book person. I mean, he was going to do Akira. He's doing the Incal, and I think he understands the demand that comic book fans want and the respect to these characters. Because I still feel like he does Thor and all of the characters very well in Thor Ragnarok. It's just, there's aspects of it I don't like.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a trip to see that contrast. And if there's no contrast, that's going to be disappointing. Like, if he doesn't deliver in that sense where we're scared of Gorr, then it's not right. But I figure Christian Bale is scary enough.
Gorr he's a slasher movie villain. He's a shark. He's something completely different. We haven't seen anything like him in any Marvel movie.
No.
Like, he is an uncaring monster. You've got Thanos, and Thanos is like, he's a bad guy who people, sometimes they say, oh, Thanos was right, we kind of agree with him, and like, no one agrees with Gorr. Gorr doesn't let you agree with him. There's nothing redeemable about him.
He wants you to disagree with him, actually.
Yeah.
He can kill you.
He's he's Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, but instead of teens on a beach in a campground, he's going after gods. He messes with them and then murders them, and like, that is some dark stuff that, like, we haven't seen that in a Marvel movie yet, and it's gonna be wild, bruh. It's gonna be so wild.
He's that dark thought in the back of your head that you never want to approach. Like, you've thought about it for a second, but you're like, no, that's insane. No. But that's all Gorr. All those terrible, horrible ideas.
I think the juxtaposition between him and Thanos is one that most people can wrap their heads on it. And I would encourage you, if you've seen the Avengers movies and you're maybe you're one of those people that's like, oh, what, maybe part of what Thanos is saying is maybe even on a philosophical level, maybe it's at least worth entertaining. Think of it this way. Thanos is a crazy dictator who didn't, like, he's doing something on a wide scale for this somewhat righteously come upon reason. Gorr is not Thanos. Gorr is a psychotic serial killer.
Yeah.
With no care for, like, half of the universe could have been blipped away, and Gorr would have been like, good, let's do it again and again and again and again.
That killed half the gods. Let's keep going.
Yeah. So also, I think transitioning out of the comic side of this and like the guys were saying, into the movie adaptation, here's one thing that I don't want to sound like one of those people that's like, if they don't do this, then it's not worth seeing. But think about Gorr as a character. This movie has to have pain in it.
Yeah.
It has to have hatred. It has to have anger, because Gorr is a character that he's the adage of he is lonely, cast away at sea, and he's drinking salt water, hatred, to quench his thirst. And it just makes him more hate-filled. It just makes him more angry. There is an inherent core principle there that for Gorr to exist in this movie, there must be hatred, there must be pain, there must be anger, there must be a ferocity that Thor has not faced yet. Like Loki is a different villain because Loki and Thor are brothers. There's a love-hate there. With Gorr, there is no love. There's only hate.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Brandon and Curtis hit this nail on the head. I have zero doubt that Christian Bale can pull this off. I've seen some of his movies, like American Psycho, The Machinist, The Fighter. Like, the guy is going to give it his all.
Yeah.
And he's going to make Gorr terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying. And you know, like we were joking around last episode, this is what he should have saved the Batman voice for.
Yeah.
But like, guys, as we transition out of Gorr's part of the Jason Aaron Thor story, like, what do you, the character's legacy, like, once we've seen him in the movie, which is the whole reason we're doing this Jason Aaron retrospective, his comics, his performance in the movie, what do you think the character's legacy will be beyond, like, 20 years from now? Will we care who Gorr the God Butcher is?
Yeah, definitely. I think it just for the fact that, like I said last episode, this is a character defining run. There's very few runs in comic books that you can point at and say this is specifically the run for this character. There's like Jeff Johns' Green Lantern, Hickman's Fantastic Four, stuff like that. Jason Aaron's Thor is that level. And when you look at Gorr being the very first thing in that Jason Aaron created for Thor, it's going to have that level of impact on the character itself. This is a dude who fought 3 different thunder gods at once. You know, like that's power unheard of. Like 3 Thors could have taken out Thanos and, you know, like nothing. And Gorr was able to fight him back. So you know, when you see them in that movie, it's going with any luck, okay, it's going to come across as that level. It's going to, hopefully, like, it becomes like a No Way Home or like a Civil War where you're like one god can't handle it, we gotta really, like, everyone's going to come in, and that's where we're going to get Jane Foster. Hopefully we'll get maybe a Beta Ray Bill. You know, we get I want to see Thunderstrike. I want a leather jacket.
Hercules.
That would be great. That'd be great. Let's do it. Let's do it all, man. Go wild, Taika. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it, bro.
Yeah.
And
do what you do best.
Give me. Yeah, that'll really put a stamp on this as the run as a whole, but specifically this arc being a very, very special arc in Thor's history.
Yeah, I couldn't say that any better. 100%. It's one of those characters that they'll bring him back somehow, I'm sure. Like, someone's gonna have an idea and we'll see more of him. Hopefully it lives up to like what he's already set up. But I think that's why no one's been able to touch him or bring him back, because this was just such a good, phenomenal run. You're just like, how do I?
Well, that's not exactly true, is it? Because he does come back.
Does he?
Oh, but we'll have to get to that.
Yeah,
we'll have to get to that later on in the Jason Aaron retrospective.
Yes.
We should come back for King Thor to wrap it up too.
Spoiler.
Yeah, I mean, we will, I'm sure, I'm positive we will touch that run. Really, as we wrap up this part of Jason Aaron's run on Thor, this first seminal story, like, I believe that when I say what will we think of Gorr in 20 years, I think Gorr is going to be one of those villains that comic book fans will look back on, and he raised questions that not a lot of villains asked. He will challenge, like, like what Curtis said, like he is irredeemable. Like, I think that's a question that we ask even in our real world, like when we see examples of hate and anger and even evil. Like you really you don't have to look far. You really don't have to look far to see examples of darkness and hate in our world. And a lot of times I look at those things and I think, is there any chance that we could redeem that? Is there any chance that if brave people, courageous people stood up against that, could we redeem it? And sometimes hatred cannot be redeemed. And I think that's one theme from this book that can even be applied to our real world today, that hate does exist. And it's very, very powerful. Hate is very, very powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
And fans, listeners, I'm sorry we left you on this bummer. Like, there's more for Thor to do. There's more for Thor in this run. We just want you to know, like, Gorr is going to be a huge part of the movie coming out this summer. And if you really want to get a sense of him as a character, as an entity in the Marvel universe, really this story is where you must go. So very, very thankful for you joining us. I'm thankful, as always, for Curtis and Brandon joining us. Guys, is there anything else you want to parting shot today for the fans that have stuck around for this part of our retrospective?
I mean, Nick Fury said it best, man. Gorr was right.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
that's what Nick Fury said to Thor, and that's what made Thor lose all his powers, become unworthy. You know, Gorr was right. Like, if there's these gods out there who are not helping, they don't deserve their power. They don't deserve their station. How he went about it was wrong,
but
it wasn't right. Any better.
It's that Magneto character, you know what I mean? It's
Magneto was right.
Like, it's one of those things. It's hard to face the truth at that point, you know. But you know, your actions, you know, speak exactly how you go about it. You know, there's some better ways.
Responding to evil with more evil doesn't make you good.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So guys, I think that concludes our talk on Gorr. It's going to be interesting to move on from Gorr to other stories. I know we've got Galactus coming up. There's a lot of Malekith coming up, and I'm sure Curtis and Brandon will be more than happy to join us for more of our Jason Aaron retrospectives. So fans, as we leave you today, I want to give you one thing you can do. Just like Curtis and Brandon and I have talked about comics, I want to encourage you, do one thing. Share this episode with a friend. Share this episode with somebody that you think might get enjoyment out of this. Maybe you've talked about the movies, the Marvel movies coming up this year, and you don't really know much about Love and Thunder yet. This would be a good thing to share with other people. So I encourage you, friends of the Bifrost, share this episode with a friend. That'd be a great thing for you to do. And as always, I remind you this every time we jump aboard the Bifrost together, whether you are listening during a workout, you're running errands, maybe you're just trying to get through the work week and you need something to distract yourself from a bad day, or you need it to enhance a good day. I encourage you, dear friends, listeners, stay worthy.